Welcome into another edition of the Weekly Coaches Show. I'm Ryan Boyd, joined as always by head coach Dan Morris here in the mezzanine at Bird Arena. Coach, a lot to talk about as this week kind of progresses. First and foremost, we'll talk about last weekend. You guys had a two-game sweep of Kent State here at Bird Arena. And first of all, with those two wins, you guys now have 15 consecutive wins over the in-state rival. I've said it a couple of times over the last few days. You told me that you take a lot of pride in being the best ACHA team in the state. What does a weekend like this do for that?
Well, I mean, this is obviously a down year for Kent, and they ran into a lot of injuries and things like that. It's not as competitive as it has been in the previous years, but they'll bounce back and they'll be tough to play again. But yeah, that's one of our goals. To be the best ACHA program in the state of Ohio. We want to be the premier. We start in the state and then work our way out nationally is how we see it. And you want to take care of your own backyard, whether your home rink, your home state, those kind of things, and then work your way out. So we build goals from there. So it's a big component of how we operate. Defend your home ice, do well at home, do well in the state, and then you do well in your league, and then do well nationally.
Coach, during the weekend, you guys won 12-4 in Game 1 and then 11-5 in Game 2. Obviously, and you told me this after a couple of the broadcasts, that the defense wasn't where you wanted it to be, but you still had an opportunity to give a couple of different goaltenders a chance, some young players a chance on defense. What does stuff like that do for you moving forward for this team?
Well, I mean, it's great. You look at, we started, Aaron Alcama on Friday night and then Ian Smith on Saturday, and both have seen limited ice time in the goaltender position. So it helps us get deeper and stronger, and it rewards guys that work hard at practice. And you get a chance for Liam Geither to play, and Liam is a redshirt player, so it gives him an opportunity to play, and you get to kind of see a glimpse of what the future holds for our program, and Liam's a big part of it. You get to see a small glimpse of it. And you get to put other guys in different situations. Like, Vinny Nicolella hasn't been a regular in the lineup, but he's a good hard player. He played a lot early in the year, and as the year kind of progressed, he hasn't been in the lineup as much. He gets an opportunity to play. And we try to play everybody healthy, rest some guys, and so all those factors, and then try to play some younger defensemen in roles that hopefully they would fulfill down the road, and all those things together, we would give up 5 or 4 goals. So and the play of Kent State players, they were eager to put the puck in the back of our net given the opportunity.
On the offensive end, Coach, you guys scored again 23 goals combined in the two games, and out of those 23 goals, we had 4 of them scored in night number 2 by Garrett Williams. Overall, on the weekend, he had 6 points. It really seemed like this was kind of maybe a coming out party for him. He was really terrific over the weekend. Yeah,
we talked about Garrett today, and one of the things that impressed us last year was Garrett's, on his junior team, was Garrett's ability to put points up in the playoffs for his junior team in the North American Hockey League, and that was one of the things that we looked as the year kind of gets to the end, who's going to step up, and we shifted Garrett from the winger position he's playing all year back to his natural center position. He's really excelled. We had, and Saturday night we had Agnew got injured. We had an extra forward dressed, and we had an extra center dressed, so we just moved Garrett from the center position to play wing with Pillmore and Brosdek, a position he had played early in the year. So he fit in great there. He got 2 goals early and then 2 goals later with that line. He did a great job putting the puck in the net. He had 2 nice backdoor goals, and started off the night with a good wrist shot, and we were off to the races there. And he did a really good job. He scored 4 goals. You wouldn't have known it. He's just a humble guy, and comes back to the bench, and you guys congratulate him. And at the end of the night, rewarded him with the hard hat. So good for Garrett.
Now, another humble guy on the team, Coach, and a guy that Garrett was playing with in night number 2 was Tyler Pillmore, and we've been kind of joking around about that Pillmore watch thing we've been doing.
Well, you got to watch with him.
But Pillmore now with 8 points over the weekend, 1 goal, 7 assists. He now is tied with your mark, 218 points in his career here at Ohio University. How exciting is that for him? And it's going to be good, or going to feel good probably when he finally breaks that mark.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's kind of bring it up today. I got a call from Stavros Vasquez. Stavros was the assistant coach that recruited Tyler Pillmore, and Stavros reminded me of that today when I talked to him on the phone. So, it's great for Tyler, and he's deserved of all the recognition and accolades that he gets. He's the hardest working player on our team at practice, off the ice. I mean, you name it, he does it, and he should be rewarded with something as cool as this. And we were trying to get it out of the way this weekend. He had a 4-point night Friday night, and we got off to a quick start on Saturday night, and I think he was itching a little bit because I think we were up by 4 goals before our first power play, and he's on the first power play unit, and I was like, we're up by 4 goals. I'd rather not put the top power play unit out there.
Right.
But then when we got into back-to-back situations, we were getting some guys fatigued, so we had to put them out there, and of course they scored. And it's one of those things where, as a coach, you don't necessarily want to, in a situation like that where the score is a little lopsided, put your top unit out. But we got into the situation where, he had to play. And of course, he made quick work of it. And, and as the game wore on, he just kept getting stronger and stronger. So it's a credit to him, but it's his work ethic that got him to this point. And, I couldn't be happier for Tyler to break the record and own the record. It's something that I'll have to get used to over the next little while.
Yeah, 218 points for Tyler Pillmore right now. Again, 1 away from breaking this man's record here at Ohio University. Now, Coach, looking forward in this upcoming weekend, you guys play in the CSCHL tournament again here at Byrd Arena. It begins Friday night as you take on 6th-seeded Indiana. Now, I think some people might look at that and say, this is a team that's at the bottom of the league and they didn't win many games, but you and I both know they beat you guys once here at Byrd Arena this year, so it's definitely a game you're definitely working hard to prepare for.
Yeah, it's the 2 trips that they came, or the trip that they came, or the 2 games that they played. We started out with 3-goal and 4-goal leads, and we squandered both of them. So it's something that's in definitely not in the back of our mind, but in the forefront of our mind is that we want to make sure that we come out and we come ready to play for the entire 60 minutes Friday night. We're in a situation now like where you lose a game, your season's done.
The Bobcats will have to win 3 games this weekend if they are to win the CSCHL tournament, but as Coach said, it does begin Friday night. They'll have to get through Indiana first. Now, one thing you just mentioned, Coach, was that your season's come to a point now where you are one and done. So you'll either play 2 games if you are to lose, or you'll play as many as 6 or 7 games if you are to win a national championship, and that brings about a good point for the ACHA National Tournament. The bracket for that will be released this Wednesday. Now, obviously, you have a few weeks to prepare for that tournament, but how excited are you to see that bracket? What are your thoughts as you get closer to that tournament?
Well, my thoughts are I got to rank these teams, and looking at everyone's results over the season, and you do your weekly rankings, but it's a challenge because with the even with the auto bids that come in, there are some teams that, right around there. So you got to it's my responsibility to take a good hard look, at the differences between the 17, 18, 19, and 20th ranked teams, because I think there's 1 or 2 teams that will get bumped under the ranking as the auto bids come in and take their place. So that's, I got a chance to go through about half the teams today, and I'll do it again tomorrow so that I can get it finished and off to the league so that they can, get the rankings out, the final rankings, and then obviously Wednesday night with the announcement of the brackets, and then, we'll talk about it Thursday with the players for about a minute, and then we'll, move on until after the completion of our CSHL tournament. whether it be Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
Again, that bracket will be released on Wednesday. Kevin and I will do a bit of a recap of that on Thursday. We'll have a live show to break that down, so you want to tune into that. We'll have more details coming out when that comes up. Also, again, Friday night, the Bobcats are in action at 7:30. Come out and pack the bird, as we always say. We'll also offer a live broadcast if you can't be here for that matchup with Indiana. With that being said, though, thanks as always, Coach, for your time. He's been head coach Dan Morris. I've been Ryan Boyd, and this has been the Weekly Coaches Show. We'll see you next week.